Endgame should have been the endgame for the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I know you don't want to hear it. It pains me to say it, but if you look at what Marvel has put out after Endgame, it's been pretty bad. Now, I'm talking both about the films they put out and also about the TV shows they put out. It's been bad. I want to like it. I've tried to like these episodes, right? And I did like some. Maybe two things they put out since Endgame I've liked. The rest has been like trying to make it to the next episode and then giving up, or not even trying at all. The two things I did enjoy were both from the TV, the Marvel Cinematic on Disney Plus, WandaVision and Loki. I really like those, but to have to sift through all the crap that they put out in between has been like, it's been like work. I tried Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I made it through that somehow, hoping it would get better, and it just didn't. It was ridiculous. I've tried to do Moon Knight, which I thought would be cool. I didn't know much about him, but I tried. I was like, hey, let's give Moon Knight a try. I mean, it looks pretty cool. And I maybe made it through 3 episodes before I gave that up as well. And time again, I just am not into it anymore. And it's not because I don't like these characters. It's because I think they're poorly executed. I think they can't make a story around, especially these minor characters, that makes it interesting. It makes you want to learn more. The Eternals was like probably the rock bottom, but even now, Ant-Man, who I love the first one. I mean, my favorite quote in Civil War was, let's get orange slices for everybody or something like that after they lost. I laughed in the theater, like, when he said that. But even now, Ant-Man is getting negative reviews. They're saying, worse than the Eternals. So I'm going to try to watch it. I know everyone says, watch it first before you judge it, which is fair, but I've been watching things. I've been trying things over and over, and it's just not hitting. Right now, the MCU is running on hope that there'll be a good product coming out, a good movie, a good TV show, and getting references. People watch a show or TV or movie so that they'll be able to get references in later TV shows and movies. But it's not for like the love of what Marvel's putting out right now, for the most part. At least for me, and I'm sure for a lot of you. And I can't figure out why. There were warning signs before Endgame for the Netflix stuff, but that was an official MCU. But even then, like Jessica Jones, I saw the first season and I loved it. But the second season I couldn't even... And was there a second season? I don't even remember watching it, trying it. Daredevil, same thing. I think I made it through the first... I made it through the first Daredevil season, but couldn't do the second. Couldn't make it through Luke Cage at all, and even the first season. And Iron Fist I didn't even try. And so, I figured that was kind of Netflix's thing, that MCU would carry on, and they delivered up to Endgame. But now I'm seeing the same problem with what Marvel's putting out now. Their films and their TV shows are full of characters you don't really care about, stories that we don't remember or necessarily like love like you loved before. A lot of people say, oh, Spider-Man No Way Home, well, that was awesome, but it was just, for me, a nostalgia fest. It was really not a good story. It was just like, hey, here's 3 Spider-Men, how awesome they are working together and their banter back and forth. That's not good enough for a good Marvel movie. they've lowered the bar when it comes to visual effects. A lot of people say they feel that the people doing the video effects are overworked, which is probably true because the amount of stuff they're churning out every month is insane. And they really need to just step back and slow down, which is exactly what they announced they're going to do. They're going to push back the release dates for a lot of the films that they had planned. So hopefully that means they will take a deep breath and say, we're off track. How do we get back on track? We don't need to keep pumping all these minor characters. Like, who cares about like Kong or Kang the Conqueror? Sorry, I lived in China for a long time, so it's the Kang the Conqueror fighting like Miss Marvel and I don't know who, like a bunch of like, there's no one that is, if he loses against like these new characters, Moon Knight and Miss Marvel, if they all team up and say, okay, let's fight Kang, and Kang loses, like, he's really not that big of a threat. They're gonna have to bring in some like teams that people have been waiting for. There's gonna definitely be at least a Fantastic Four, which I think they already announced, a Fantastic Four, and there's gonna be an X-Men this phase, because I don't know what they have to run on. They've tried to push these minor characters on us, and I was rooting for it. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy was great. A bunch of minor characters. I didn't even read a Guardians of the Galaxy movie before, but they really did a good job with that. But they've got to get us caring about the characters they put on. They've got to make good stories for these characters, which is a way to do that. They've got to work on their video effects and just slow things down. We don't need all this content, character after character, pushed on us. We need people to take the time to make really good stories. That's what we want. That's what they did before, and that's what they lost after Endgame. So until I see otherwise, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to see until I really see things turning around. Endgame should have been the Endgame. Tell me what you think below. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you later.